just like that. Work hard and play hard and grind hard. I'll be right back.
Hey everyone, it's the Jd5 Sports Channel with your boy Jd5. Please make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If you haven't done so, make sure you hit the notification button. That's the most important one. Let's talk about this Commanders and Jets preseason debut game of Jd5. How do you guys like my man? Leave it in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Tell me who should get cut. Tell me who stood out. Let me just say this, man. Jd5 was all that I thought he would be. As what I've been predicting, is what I thought. You know what I'm saying? He didn't let me down. The guy played the way that I envisioned. And I'm so happy. He gave his mother the game ball. The guy stood tall in the pocket, checked out of a play he didn't like, threw a 40-yard bomb to Jd5 Brown. You know what I'm saying? Jayden Daniels. Then, when he got to the goal line, he did a 3-yard scamper. The safety, was the last line of defense. Man, Jayden Daniels just jogged into the end zone. He didn't run, he jogged. And the poor guy took a bad angle. That was all she wrote. All she wrote. This guy had the awareness because of film study, because of experience, all those games he played in LSU, played 5 years of college. He's seen a lot of football. This guy saw what the defense was doing, checked out of one play, and like Dan Quinn said, he was not supposed to do that, but hey, what can you say? If the guy bet on himself right there and he proved himself right, let him do him, man. Let him do him. Don't mess up nothing. He's in the flow of the game. He's seeing things early. That was a vanilla defense they was playing, but he identified that. Something that our last quarterbacks was unable to do. But this guy, right away, first preseason game, checked out of a play already. And Cliff Kingsbury is giving him the freedom to do so. Giving him the keys to the offense because he's proven that he can make adjustments. He saw it in practice. He demonstrated in practice. He learned the playbook in the OTAs. Still saying he got a long way to go. That's just him being a humble student of the game. Yeah, sure, he hasn't arrived yet. But look at him. He's making plays, man, already. He's doing the same things that he's done in college. It's translated to the NFL. The same thing he done in the OTAs, translated to training camp. You know, the same thing he was doing in training camp, translated to the first preseason game. I don't need to see no more until the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got ourselves a quarterback, folks. A quarterback. How do you like that? Next up, man, Jd5 Brown, man. I'm just pointing out the key moments or the key players or the key things that I highlighted inside my mind that I wanted to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I thought Jd5 Brown, he's making a strong case not to be cut from this ball club and perhaps being the number 3 or 4 wide receiver. He's putting up, you know what I'm saying, a case for himself. He's had a pretty good 8 OTAs. He's having a pretty good training camp. You know, so far he's been shining in the preseason. This first game, you know, he had like 3 catches. You know what I'm saying? This guy, you know, he's making a case for himself, man. He really is. And I'm a Jd5 Brown fan. You know, last year, even though we had a horrible year last year, he had something to say. And the year before, he had splash plays. He's always made the splash plays. Now he's got a quarterback that can really get him the ball. You know what I'm saying? Who's not afraid to go to a guy that's covered. Because he's got a trust in his arm that he could put it in front of the guy. Well, only he can catch it. And that's all Jd5 Brown needed was a quarterback like that who wasn't shy, you know what I'm saying, to go and attack and give those guys a chance and an opportunity. That's all any receiver wants. You know, he done it time and time again with Neighbors and Thomas, with Brian Thomas. You know what I'm saying? He done it throughout his college career. He did it with Ayuk at Arizona State. Everything he's doing, he's been doing. It's natural to him. And that's the scary part. He's only going to get better once he realizes how to, like, really read defenses. It's over because he already got the athletic ability. And the best thing about Jayden Daniels is he does not heavily rely on his legs. He's a pocket passer who happens to run and is very dangerous at it. He's a nightmare for opposing defenses. They know this guy wants to pass first. He runs when there's nothing else to do or a quarterback design run play, which is the read option. This guy is deadly, man. And we got lucky. Yeah, we did. Thank you, Ron Rivera, for being a lousy coach and letting us pick at number 2. And thank you for the Chicago Bears for picking Caleb Williams, who's not a slouch himself, at number 1, who's definitely not a slouch. Next up, my man, what's my guy name? Anthony Pittman. Anthony Pittman stood out, number 57. He stood out, man. He stood out. You know, he had one play I know he wished he could have back, but he stood out. He stood out. And I wouldn't be surprised if he make this team. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, he's not going to be a starter. He's going to be a guy that comes in and spell Frankie Louvu, I'm sorry. You know, so, I mean, he's definitely going to make this team. He's second on the depth chart. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely going to make it, and he made a case for himself most definitely today. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hey, it is what it is. Bryson Tremaine, couple of good catches, man. He's making a case for himself. He's been stacking up good at OTAs and training camp, and he had a strong preseason performance. He's making a case for himself. We deep at the wide receiver position. Very, very deep. So it's going to be tough, you know, if you don't crack the starting lineup. I mean, I'm sorry, not the starting lineup. If you don't crack the 53-man roster, practice squad. I mean, you want a guy like that around because you want him to make the 53-man roster because you got guys like what's my guy name? I can never get his name right. I'm going to it right now. Olamide Zaccheaus. If I'm saying it wrong, hey, it is what it is. Olamide Zaccheaus. You got a guy like that. He's the same as a Cashmere Allen and Jamison Crowder. All 3 of those guys are like the same. You know, you got De'Ami Brown or Brian Pringle. He's going to be a kickoff guy. He may or may not make the team. You don't know. But so far, you got Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson. You got Luke McCaffrey, De'Ami Brown. It's going to be a crapshoot between Jamison Crowder and Olamide Zaccheaus. So you got 6 wide receivers right there, right? So guys like Byron Pringle and Bryson Tremaine is pretty much on the outside, but it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. I don't know if they're going to cut Jamison Crowder because Zaccheaus been showing off. He's really had a strong camp. He's been talked about. Him and Bryson Tremaine has been talked about in the OTAs and training camp. So a guy like Jamison Crowder, man, I don't know, man. I just don't know. You know, you got Jahan Dotson, like I said, Terry McLaurin, Luke McCaffrey, De'Ami Brown. De'Ami Brown has been strong. It's tough, man. That's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have, but you want to keep as many guys you can that can help your team win, but it's a shame that you can't keep everybody. And that's what most good teams have those problems every year. You know what I'm saying? Is we're starting to crack the threshold of being good? Only time will tell. You know? McCaffrey. Man, this guy plays with his hair on fire out there, man. This guy, it don't matter if he on first team, second team, third team, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. You put this guy on the field, he's going to play the same way. This guy play like he's never going to play football after that particular game ever again in his life. He goes out there and give it all he has. Absorb the big hits. He don't care, man. He runs hard on every single play. You know, so McCaffrey, hey, great pick. Ben Sinnott. Ben Sinnott had a spectacular run up the middle of the field for 40-some-odd yards, man. He was carrying the entire Jets ball club on his back after he caught it. And when they finally tried to tackle him, he ran for an extra 10 to 15 yards after. I was like, goodness gracious, man, this guy is as advertised. I think he had like 3 catches out there. He had a strong performance, man. Ben Sinnott, another great pick. Emmanuel Forbes. He gave up a back shoulder, then he gave up a deep one. He gave up a deep one in the scrimmage also. Emmanuel Forbes, his time is wearing thin on cracking the starting lineup. Maybe not even second string. He's more suitable for third string. He may find himself on special teams. He may find himself on special teams, man. Because as you look at it right now, you got Benjamin St. Juice, Mike Samersteele, Castro Fields, and Ben Nogi, whatever his name is. Who else? You have Michael Davis, Nick Whiteside, Tyler Owens. You know, guys of that nature. Well, Tyler Owens play. I'm sorry. Ben Nichols. Damn it, those guys are safeties. But you have Michael Davis, Anuzium. I'm sorry. Nick Whiteside the second. Benjamin St. Juice, Castro Fields, James Pierre. It's going to be, they got guys, Emmanuel Forbes, they got guys that's better than you, clearly. They don't need a guy. I mean, you got the length, you know, you got the speed, but you just don't have the technique, you know. That's what's killing you, you know, and hopefully they can coach you up a little bit more. But it's going to be a long hill to climb because this guy's still young and raw. You hate to give up on a guy like him because he's young and raw and athletic. He got pure athleticism. He needs to bulk up a little bit more, but he's a good tackler. I don't necessarily want to say he needs to bulk up, even though he does need to. He already put on 17 pounds, right? It's more so his technique was killing him and his football awareness. His football awareness and his technique is failing him right now. I think he needs to watch more tape. I think he needs to get coached up a little bit more. And I think he needs to be more like on special teams, you know, stuff like that. He doesn't need to get a whole lot of playing time because he's going to be a liability out there. They're going to attack him. So we definitely don't need him out there because he's going to be a liability. Anyway, last but not least, I want to hop on the 2 backup quarterbacks. Well, I'm not even going to talk about Mariota. I'm not going to talk about him because it wasn't fair to him, but he's a veteran. We already seen footage on him. We seen tape. We know what he can do. A guy like Driscoll came in and did his thing. Jeff Driscoll came in, made some nice throws, made some nice runs also. I thought he had good poise in the pocket. Sometimes the offensive line let him down. But other than that, he was overthrowing the long ball. And the long ball, he put too much on it. You know, he's not a good, accurate long ball thrower. So I can't say that about him. But other than that, I thought Jeff Driscoll had a solid game today. But who I'm surprised at was Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman did so good on the 2 series that he was in. I believe it was 2 series that he was in. On the 2 series that he was in, may have been 3, but I'm going to go with 2, just to be on the safe side. He did so good, they took him out. They seen enough. They was like, okay, all right, cool, we got you. Unless it was a injury or something that I didn't see. I didn't hear about no injury because god-awful Chick Hernandez and Brian Mitchell was terrible as usual. They shouldn't be calling the game, but it is what it is. Unless they fail to report that Hartman suffered a little minor injury or whatever the case may be, only thing I know is that he wasn't in the game more and Jeff Driscoll had to come back in. Unless they wanted Jeff Driscoll to come back in and say, this young rookie showed you up, man. What you going to do? How you going to act? Is you gonna come in and do better? Because right now, Sam Hartman, he looking like he got that number 3 spot locked down, man. I'm just saying. When Driscoll came in the game, the offense looked at it was like deflated a little bit. Sam Hartman had the hot hand. He had the hot hand, but I guess they was like, nah, we saying you good. We saw you. You're gonna get more playing time next week. So we'll show me what you can do more next week. If you could consistently stack good games on top of good games, or shall I say quarters on top of quarters, you find yourself beating Jeff Driscoll out. Jeff, I don't know how many quarterbacks they're going to carry on a 53-man roster, but if they only carry 2, you got to put Sam Hartman. If he keep playing this way, you got to put him on the practice squad. You have to. Jeff Driscoll, you got to step your game up, man. You can't let the rookie outshine you like that, man. But for the most part, I looked on the sideline before the game, right, and during the game, and after the game. And you see the sideline. I'm talking about the coaches, right? And the players. I'm going to put the players in there too. Everyone looked engaged. Everyone looked professional out there. Everyone looked excited to be out there. Everyone looked confident. Even in a loss, they still held their heads high. Even though it's a preseason game, no one is worried. Your record's still 0-0. They count wins and losses in preseason for preseason records, but we know what I'm talking about, the regular season. Still 0-0. These games are being viewed by the coaching staff, and other 32 teams around the league is looking at these players. But anyway, like I was saying, the point I was trying to make, I thought about last year and the years previous when Ron Rivera took over, and I remember how the sideline looked at. I remember how the coaching staff looked at. The coaching staff, the players was a reflection of the coaching staff that was on the sideline. It was a whole bunch of non-confident guys on those sidelines. Even Eric Bieniemy looked at overwhelmed last year, being on that sideline last year. But as you saw Cliff Kingsbury, he looked at tall out there. He looked at confident out there. He looked like a guy that was sure of what he was calling, was sure about the personnel that he was putting in. He did some things that kind of threw me off guard. He was switching guys, flipping guys in and out, trying to find the right mixture, trying to get everyone. He wanted everybody to get some playing time so they can have tape, so they can go back and study who was out there doing what and who wasn't out there doing what. And also so the offensive line coach or whatever, the offensive staff period, can work on individuals and tell them what they need to work on. You see how this guy did you right here, you need to work on. You know what I'm saying? And blase. But the coaching staff, to me, looked at professional. Even on the defensive side of the ball, but you didn't see blown coverages out there. If maybe it was one play where somebody forgot an assignment, when the guy ran up the middle, the running back that is. Other than that, man, the defense was solid out there. I know the quarterback, Martinez, was running free a little bit, but that's because he didn't have nowhere to throw the ball to. We didn't game plan on him. So, yeah, he had a couple of free runs, but I guarantee if this was regular season and we was out there, it probably been a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't even be playing. It'd be Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers is the type of guy that'll kill you too, so, But anyway, yeah, I thought the overall grade of the team today, I'll give them a C+. I'll give them a C+, because the offensive line, they was playing solid, but they gave up a few sacks. I don't really like that. The defensive line played solid, but they didn't get after him enough. The linebackers, I thought, played well today. The secondary needs a little bit more work. They need a little bit more coaching. Although the top guys wasn't out there. You know what I'm saying? If you want to call Forbes a top guy, I think not. But it was no blown coverage. Guys just got beat mano a mano, talking about Forbes. Gave up a long play. Gave up a touchdown. Other than that, and another guy, number 29, I don't know his name. Let me see. I thought KJ Henry also had a couple of plays, it stood out a little bit. I want to say the guy name was Nick Whiteside, who gave up that long catch. like 3 yards away from the end zone. I think I want to say Nick Whiteside. But him and Emmanuel Forbes gave up 2 long ones. Other than that, the secondary, I think, did a fair job. They still need a little bit of work, though. Still need a little bit more work. You know what I'm saying? I think they need to generate more of a pass rush because I thought the guy had too much. Well, they didn't have the whole entire starting defensive line in there. So, I can't be too hard on them. I'm going to wait until the regular season to really make an assessment on that, to give an assessment on that. So, but I thought the overall unit, I think we found a punt returner too. Zacchaeus, yeah. I like him, man. I really like him. And as a wide receiver, I like him. I really, really like him. I think he can contribute. He can make some plays, man. You get him in one-on-one space, man. He can make some plays. But I thought the overall grade was C plus. If we doing numbers, I give them a 80%, 75 to 80%. I give them. The first game. You know what I'm saying? That's to be expected. Those guys were nervous. They haven't tackled. There was some missed tackles out there. They haven't tackled. So, I'll give them a C plus. C plus. Overall, I'll give the coaching also. I'll give the coaching a B. I'll give them a solid B, no plus, no minus. I give them a solid B. You know what I'm saying? So I like what I saw out there, man. I'm feeling encouraged. Nobody's saying they're going to go out there and win the Super Bowl, but from the first preseason game, man, I'm feeling encouraged. I'm feeling really encouraged, man. I'm feeling excited. The anticipation level in me is high, and I know it is in fans also. So I can't wait, man, to get this thing started, man. And that's all I got, you guys. This is RVD Sports Channel. Make sure you hit the notification button, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Enough from Fauci. Peace.